Hi guys, how you doing? I just wanted to talk about the new moon today, which is at 13 degrees of Libra. And first of all, I wanted to give you a bit of background to the energy. We've got some really funky energy at the moment, and I don't like it at all, to be honest. It's very, well, let me talk you through it. Okay, so we're in Libra now, which I've actually enjoyed, to be honest, so far. I've had some really nice Libra moments, hanging out with friends and doing nice things. But what we're coming up to now is, and this peaks tomorrow on the 7th and the 10th, we've got the Sun and Mars in conjunction, right? So the Sun and Mars in conjunction, which in itself is a pretty cool thing. This great combustion, this great explosion of energy with the Sun and Mars, a lot of creative potential. The thing is though, when you've got the Sun and Mars in conjunction, you want them to be in like Sagittarius, Aries or somewhere like that, that really is conducive to that fiery power, that yang energy. But no, they happen in rational, diplomatic, intellectual Libra, right? It's the worst place that they could be in. We've actually got 4 personal planets today because it's the new moon today, which I'll talk about. So loads of energy in Libra. But the thing is, Libra's an air sign. It's rational. It's detached. It wants to negotiate. And the Sun and Mars together, they want to explode and create and, you know, go off on their own. They don't want to listen to other people, which is what Libra wants to do. Added to that, we've got, okay, so Libra's ruled by the planet Venus. So wherever Venus is going to colour whatever's happening in Libra. And Venus today is in the final degrees of Scorpio. And of all the places for Venus to hang out, Scorpio is one of the worst, it must be said. Venus likes to be in the opposite sign of Taurus, where she's really earthy and sensual, and you know. Whereas in Scorpio, right, and if Libra's about relationships, when you've got Venus in Scorpio, what we're getting here is very dark undercurrents, perhaps jealousy, manipulation. It's the darker side of the relationships. Added to that, giving a more Plutonian energy to what's going on at the moment, Pluto rules Scorpio, is that the Mercury retrograde is in a square to Pluto, which is stationary. So again, we've got this energy which is very much about, Pluto can be bullying, it can be, what it can be actually, particularly with the Mars and Libra, is coming from that, a kind of childhood rage kind of place. You know, if there's anything that hasn't been dealt with, particularly as the Sun and Mars at the moment are opposing Chiron, and Chiron's the wounded healer. So what this is all leading towards is, right now with the Sun and Mars in conjunction Libra, which is actually going to be effective till about the 18th, when Mercury goes direct. So yeah, the next few weeks is this real energy of repressed anger, maybe passive aggression, lots of things lurking beneath the surface. So it's a really crappy time to get into any conflict or argument. There's just a lot of personal planets in places that they don't like to hang out, if that makes sense. Although Venus is moving into Sagittarius very soon. But yeah, so from now until the 18th, I'd definitely say try and find a way to use that Mars energy. Now the plus side of Libra is, you know, justice, social justice and all that kind of thing. So it could be a great time to exert yourself, Mars, in anything to do with that. I've got some friends studying common law, which is really cool. I might do that myself. That's a really good expression of having all this stuff in Libra. And actually, if you think about diplomacy, Libra likes to hear both sides of the argument, and it's very much about contracts, right? Keeping to your contract. So you could, if you're aware, if you're very, very self-aware, and you keep breathing and you keep very present and still, you could actually do some amazing work in terms of peacemaking, actually, with all this energy in Libra. But just be aware that there's this real bubbling energy underneath the surface, and I think it's a great day to be still, or time to be still. I want to show you the tarot card, which is associated with the second decan of Libra. Oh, it's the wrong way around. Which is the 3 of Swords. And I think this image just says it all, really. This is the second decan of Libra, so 10 to 20 degrees of Libra, which is where the action is right now. And I almost think that heart is like Mars. It's like this passion, but then it's this intellectual energy with the swords that kind of doesn't fit well. But as I said, let's look at the hierarchies of this. This card's all about, well, it's traditionally about heartbreak. So it's kind of the wrong end of what happens in Libra when you engage with someone, but it perhaps doesn't turn out as planned. You get this energy. But this is also about, in the higher expression, is about marrying the heart and the head. Okay, so that's definitely something you could do. But I just thought that was quite a cool image because we've got 4 personal planets in Libra, and I just thought that could be Mars or the Sun, and then the other 3 guys hanging out there. Yeah, but I think that's the kind of energy that I'm feeling at the moment. A lot of repressed anger. You need an outlet for it. I think exercise would be a great way to use this Martian energy in the next couple of weeks. You just don't want to be taking it out on other people because it's going to be coming from this kind of victim place, I think. Well, not necessarily, but there's a high likelihood with those guys in Libra and also the Chiron opposition. But some good news. 7th of this month, we've got Pluto going direct. Okay, so if you've been feeling like everything's just on hold and everything's like, what the hell's going on? When are we going to be moving forward? That's because there's so many outer planets. I mean, most of the planets actually are retrograde at the moment. And when they're retrograde, it's where we go inwards and we reflect on the lessons learned when they've been traveling through wherever they've been traveling through, right? And on the 7th, we've got Pluto direct. On the 11th, we've got Saturn direct. And on the 18th, we've got Mercury direct and Jupiter direct, all right? So on the 18th of October, from that time after, and also we'll be out of this Mars Sun conjunction then, so things are going to be easing off then. So I think it's just good to be aware for the next couple of weeks, certainly till the 18th, but I reckon a couple of days after, of finding some way to express anger or rage or, you know, like undealt with, maybe messy, uncomfortable feelings that you might be feeling. Today's the new moon in Libra. It's a pretty electric new moon, right? And a new moon is about setting intentions, and Libra are all about relationships, justice, collaboration, cooperation. So think about all those things. It could be about you know, the kind of people you want to be hanging out with. Loads and loads of personal energy with 4 personal planets in Libra. So it's something you can really work with. But we've got some awkward things. We've got an in conjunct with Uranus, and when you've got Mars in conjunct Uranus, this is a really electric. It's a very high voltage energy, which is just playing into this kind of repressed, this sense of something repressed, like a ball that wants to be lanced. And again, Venus in the final degrees of Scorpio. When we're in the final degrees of any sign, we're looking at the shadow of that sign. So yeah, just definitely, I think it's a good time to go inwards actually and do a lot of inner work over the next couple of weeks. Definitely don't start projects. Definitely don't try and negotiate things, contracts and stuff. I just think you're going to be putting the wrong foot forward. So yeah, just a couple of weeks of bumpy weather. Good time to process things, do the inner work, do the shadow work, and maybe keep yourself to yourself. All right, don't come out in anger with people, if at all possible. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.